Welcome back to the Healthy Orange. I'm Bennett Campbell Ferguson.
Oh, I'm Max Myers.
Mo Shawnette.
And today we are talking about the Oscar nominations. So I thought we could start out by saying, just to begin on a nice positive note, what are we the most angry about?
Positivity.
Positivity. No, let's get it out. Let's air our grievances. Blackfish for documentary. I know you all know it. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna happen. Put money on it. I'm glad I didn't put money on it.
I'm really surprised. of the documentaries this year, I'd say besides The Act of Killing, that was the one I heard the most about.
Exactly. You and I were just talking about the foreign language in the documentary. Usually the more popular or more well-known usually squeaks in. Not necessarily that it's going to win, but did Super Size Me get nominated?
It did.
So they got
but
that. Bowling for Columbine,
win,
Sicko, they usually get the nomination, not necessarily are they going to win, because they're just the most well-seen. Inconvenient truth. But, what were you angry about, Ben?
Oh, well, I've come to kind of an interesting place with the Oscars. Where I don't expect to be happy. In fact, I expect to be sort of disappointed.
No.
So it's kind of like I had sort of surrendered myself to the fact that Blue is the Warmest Color, which, as you guys know, was my favorite film of the year, wasn't probably going to make the cut. I kind of thought so because of the controversy in the NC-17 rating and all that. Yeah, aside, I'd say that that annoys me the most. But again, I wasn't super hopeful to begin with, so it's kind of a mixed reaction.
No.
What about you?
I didn't see a lot of these movies, unfortunately. So I don't have any major complaints. The only one I have is Achievement in Visual Effects. Pacific Rim was not nominated.
Yes,
but the Lone Ranger was.
Ooh.
So
swap them out.
Yeah. Neither of them are probably gonna win, but still.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really angry. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this person got snubbed. This person got snubbed." I don't know. Last year we kind of had a shift. I felt last year there was a lot of movies that were just, oh, that was really good. Like Argo, Life of Pi, or The Impossible. They weren't really spectacular, great films, but they were just, that was really good.
Yes, thank you.
In a sea of just mediocrity,
yeah.
And then you got these ones that are just slightly elevated. That doesn't make them great movies. They were good movies, but this year we had a lot of really great movies, a lot of great performances, and not enough categories. When you got 10 or 8 or 7 or 8 great best actors that could easily be in this category, and you have to whittle it down to 5, there's always going to be someone left out. But I don't know. I just felt I wasn't really too shocked. I just kind of learned to go, well, good for the people who got what they got.
Right. Well, I think it's interesting because this is a year that a lot of people agree, including myself, agree was particularly exceptional.
Yes.
I definitely think the quality overall was up from 2012, and so I think but I think everyone thinks it was a great year for different reasons,
mm-hmm.
and kind of how as far as snubs, everyone is angry for different reasons. Some people are angry because of Inside Llewyn Davis getting shut out. Some people are mad about about Spike Jonze, although I'm not personally, because I just really like her.
I think people didn't know what to make of Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah.
I saw it, and right now in film history we're learning about realism. That's a realist film, or not necessarily realistic, but it has that realist aesthetic. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's focusing on more working class people. It's sort of bleak, but I found it uplifting. You get to the end and you sort of think that maybe things are gonna be okay for this guy.
that question mark ending.
Yeah.
We're not going to wrap it up for you at the end. And,
Well, it's funny how many great movies like end on a note like that. Because blue is the warmest color in events like that as well. You know what I mean? Those sort of hopeful but realistic endings. I don't know. They
Right.
leave kind of an enjoyably ambiguous taste in your mouth. I feel
Oh.
like, you know.
my fiance and my mother hate that crap. There's nothing that makes my mom more angry than she goes, "What? Are we going to find out about the blah? Just sat through an hour and a half for this? Ah, forget that."
So basically, she really wanted the top to fall.
She just doesn't like, it's like, you know, or that end where they're like, "Wait, did they?" She goes, "Just answer my damn question. That's all I want." She's one of those people. I love her, but hey, it's not for everyone.
Well, just a segue in a different direction is I'm curious. Is there are there any nominations that you guys are especially happy about?
Oh, anything for Gravity.
Yes, yeah, I would agree too.
I think Gravity's gonna win like all the technical Oscars.
Which makes me sad because that means they're going to be completely shut out everywhere else.
Yeah,
And it's not.
But like maybe Best Director.
Maybe they might give it to
Maybe
him.
it's a tough
But for like the last few years, last year it was Life of Pi, and the year before that it was Hugo, where it's these movies that look visually amazing, and there's a lot of work put into them, and they also have like Oscar caliber, whether it be like the story or people working on it or something like that, and then they get nominated for all the visual technical awards, and then they win all of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's always kind of like the tech package. You know,
So I think that's going to be Gravity, which I still need to see.
Well, you could check it out
It's
at the end of
fantastic,
February.
yeah.
February 27th, I want to say.
I don't know.
February 27th.
End of February, last Tuesday. I know that. I don't know. I think it's a shame. I mean, I don't know. I really liked Gravity. I didn't want to like Gravity, and so that's why I was really surprised at how much I liked Gravity.
Why didn't you want to like Gravity?
The idea just didn't make sense. You go, okay, we have literally like 3 speaking roles. We got Sandra Bullock in space. She's been detached, floating away. Okay, how long is the movie? Hour and 45 minutes? How much oxygen does she have? Not much. Wait, where are we going with this? I just didn't understand. Like, the whole idea, like, the concept didn't hit me. I even saw Alfonso Cuarón and Sandra Bullock talk about it at Comic-Con, and I saw footage, and I was like, okay, I mean, it looks cool, but I mean, again, the idea, can it sustain itself? And everyone was and so the only reason I went and saw it was because everyone said that they loved it. And I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. And I was completely blown away. I mean, and actually, fun fact, Sandra Bullock was the one that came up with the idea that her daughter died. That's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler for anyone, just so you know. The movie's not ruined. But she's the one, she went to the director, she goes, well, how about my daughter isn't alive on Earth, she's dead. I lost her years ago. She goes, I don't have the will to fight as hard as you, as a normal person. And he goes, that's a great idea. Changed it. And I mean, so I love her for that. I mean, I haven't seen Blue Jasmine. I'm going to give it a look either tonight or tomorrow, but I don't know. I would really like to see Sandra Bullock win for that.
I think she didn't get enough credit for this. I think I think what Alfonso Cuarón did was amazing, and also the cinematography by Manuel Lubezki. I mean, enough said. but I mean, like, I think people in the excitement about like the technical achievement have overlooked the fact that it's a character study about like finding the strength to survive, and she conveys that so well.
It's wonderful. I don't know. I think the director category is going to be really, really interesting this year.
Yeah. Who else nominated? David O. Russell for American Hustle.
Great.
That rhymes.
I know. I've been enjoying that too.
What? Did you realize that until just now?
Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity.
Uh-huh.
Alexander Payne for Nebraska.
Okay.
Steve McQueen, not that Steve McQueen, for 12 Years a Slave.
Great.
That would have been a different movie.
Oh, it was directed by... I always forget. He's dead, right?
I'm pretty sure.
That's what I thought.
Mid-80s or something?
Yeah, so, that would have been a really different movie.
And Martin Scorsese for Wolf of Wall Street.
So I've got a theory here. Tell me what you guys think. On the surface, the race seems to be like a shootout between Steve McQueen and Alfonso Cuarón. except there's like as like candidates for best director, there's problems that the Academy is going to find with both of them. The problem with Alfonso Cuarón being that he made a sci-fi movie, and we all know how the Academy feels about sci-fi.
Oh, one day it'll loosen up.
And then with Steve McQueen, I mean, like, you know, right now people are saying 12 Years a Slave is the front runner, but I remember reading stories months ago about Academy members saying they were so freaked out reading about the violence that they were going to wait for the movie to come to DVD to see it, and then fast forward through those scenes. So it's like, which to me, like, that means like they, like Steve McQueen and Alfonso Cuarón could kind of eventually fall behind, leaving it open possibly for David O. Russell or Scorsese to swoop in with their kind of lighter, funnier movies.
We're kind of, it's so weird. The Academy Awards, there's been this shift. I mean, you can kind of see it from the 90s, like late 90s on. They tend to prefer, I mean, not all the time, movies that are, inspiring. I mean, that's why before they moved the Monuments Men to this April or whatever, I was banking on that. They love things about the movies that are positive. That's why The Artist won, especially history. So they love, I mean, that's why Argo kind of won. I mean, other than the Ben Affleck snub. I mean, then we got King's Speech. Oh, he overcomes adversity.
He solved World War II by talking.
Exactly, a wonderful speech. I mean, and then you got, so the Monuments Men, you got World War II, which they love.
Oh, they're
people protecting art, which they love. George Clooney and Matt Damon, they love them. Oh. So I mean, they had all the stuff, and then they moved it. But I mean, so it's weird. I mean, and I saw with the Golden Globes. I mean, if you notice, Alfonso Cuarón won Best Director.
Right.
And the only award that 12 Years a Slave won was Best Picture, which is strange because. I mean, it was up for a lot. I think 8 or 9.
It seems weird that it wouldn't win for
anything
screenplay.
Else. Nothing. Not the screenplay.
No,
not.
Well, that was adapted screenplay, right?
It was adapted.
Yeah, by John Ridley. Yeah.
It went to someone else, and I don't remember who. For the Globes.
Who's nominated here?
Wait, no. In the Globes, they don't differentiate. It was just best screenplay.
It was her that won.
It went to her for best.
Which is another problem with the Globes. I mean, like, really, only 5 screenplay nominees.
Yeah, but they divide up the comedy and the drama a little bit too.
That's true. Which I kind of like.
It's nice. I mean, so you got. I mean, that was just kind of the whole curveball of the night. I mean, it was up for some of the most awards, and yet the only one it won was literally the biggest award of the night. So
I think
that's 80 some odd European reporters, journalists. So who knows what they like?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I'm guessing 12 Years will probably get Best Supporting Actress.
Well, she won the Screen Actors Guild.
Yes.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes, and she totally earns it.
Oh yeah, she was fantastic.
Who else?
I think Jennifer Lawrence has a shot because she won the Golden Globe.
She won the Golden Globe for comedy. It's just Best Supporting Actress.
Right.
Yes,
yeah.
Another weird division. But again, you got to remember, everyone was talking about, the Golden Globes. Man, that show was weird. The only weird thing about that, when you really look at it, was how come all these people were put so far away from the stage, and even the ones close to the stage had so much issues getting on there. They spent 23 minutes, they did a tally, they did a research, 23 minutes of the Golden Globes was spent watching people get to the stage.
Wow.
That's just, it's weird, right?
Which seems to undermine exactly what the Globes are about, because they're supposed to be like the casual, fun award show that people actually like.
So,
like Hollywood's biggest party or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you get a table, for Christ's sake.
Well, then Jacqueline Bisset, I mean, she took 1.5 minutes just to get to the stage, so she had a lot of other issues. But, I mean, everyone's like, that's weird, but if you really think about it, the Golden Globes is voted on by mostly European people. They love funny people. They love people with accents, so I kind of was like, Alfonso Cuarón totally deserved the award he got, but also he probably talked to many of these members in Spanish.
Yeah.
Their native tongue. And then, of course, they love Jennifer Lawrence because she's hilarious. What's not to love? That girl is an American treasure.
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
at the end of every award shows, it's just, look what she did. And it's just a picture of her making a face. But I mean, so
I like her new hairdo too.
yeah, I didn't like her dress. Although someone did put up a picture of her next to Ariel from The Little Mermaid when she wore part of the sail, and it was almost the exact same dress. I'm like, there we go. But I mean, it made sense of what did win, and the Academy's different.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I think Best Director. I don't know. I was telling Ben, maybe someone, I talk, that Steve McQueen. He's one of those people. He goes, "I'm going to make a movie. You're either going to like it or you're not. You know, whether or not you're going to nominate me is not my own thing." But the
interesting thing is he was so gracious in his acceptance speech at the Globes. Like, I mean, like, it was kind of interesting. Like, you hear all these stories about him, like, being this prickly guy, you know, who's not fit for the awards season, and then he was. I mean, he was I thought it was a really moving speech. I mean, he came off as a really nice guy.
Well, and he is a nice guy. Everyone loves him, but at the same time, but he's one of those people, and I know people like this. They're gonna go, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna like it. If you like it, that's great." And he did create a solid film. I mean, all the way through. It had some newer things. I mean, more like art house stuff integrated with a lot of very standard, you know, what you kind of expect to see from a movie. So it's a really great film all over, but he's not going to be like, "Hi, I'm Steve McQueen, please vote for me." He's going to go, "Hi, I'm Steve McQueen, I made this movie." That's it. As opposed to Alfonso Cuarón or anyone else who goes, "I know how this works, I'm going to go to the dinner, I'm going to introduce myself to this person, and they're going to talk to someone else about voting for me." And they do that, whether or not, you know, and so it's kind of interesting if he does win, you know, for that reason. They can see past the fact, they're like, "All right, well, you made the best film. Whether or not you're going to shake my hand and introduce yourself is a different thing." So, what I'm saying is I would love to see Steve McQueen win, but I think it could go to Alfonso Cuarón.